Hi, it's Chris Hamilton here with bookkeepingautomation.com and also with entermyinvoice.com. And I've got Jeremy Burke from Intuit Canada here with me today. And Jeremy and I have been going over a few reasons of why you want to go to the cloud with your accounting and bookkeeping. And this is tip number 3. So Jeremy, take it away. Why would an accountant or bookkeeping firm want to go to the cloud?
Well, so for example number 3, I'm going to change it up a little bit. And the last 2 examples were large accounting firms. So we had a large accounting firm down in Lethbridge that took advantage of the learning of the cloud and then used that as a differentiator in marketing. Second one was basically adding on a new source of income through additional service that they could provide to their clients. The third one, I want to take it down to the small independent individuals there. Because sometimes they're worried, they're going, well, why should I invest the time and effort and energy to, recommend the cloud to my clients? So I'm going to give an example that happened last week. So I had a phone call. I don't know how they got my name, but I had a phone call from a plumbing company, a very reputable, respected plumbing company that's been in the Edmonton city for 13 years. And cruising along, they have radio ads. They have, I think it was 13 staff members, and they actually try to go on their own, which I've seen many times as a small business. They try to implement QuickBooks online, and we're having a great deal of struggle with it. Um, there is amount of knowledge that is required to learn before recommending these things to your clients. So I said, hey, I'll come down. I heard you guys on the radio. I'll come down and check you out and see where I can help. So I personally don't do implementation. So I brought along one of my friends who has been trained with me for the last 2 years, who does QuickBooks implementations and third-party products. So she's studied, she's researched, and she's been certified on a variety of different applications and how to integrate them. She also previously used to be a bookkeeper. So when I talk to bookkeepers, their average fees for dealing with a small business across Canada is about $250 to $500 a month. So not a lot of money, and they do a lot of work, and the cloud does free up a lot of time, so it makes it easier and more profitable for that work. But specifically what I want to talk about is the ability to add this value to a service and basically become an expert in implementing the software is more profitable than actually doing the bookkeeping work. And so this lady likes to do it this way. So I went into this plumbing company. I sat down with the owner and looked at their process, his processes. I sat down with their dispatcher who dispatches the plumbing trucks there for 20 minutes, walked through their processes, and she was using like Google Calendar to book all the service runs, and the drivers had it on their phone, so they were trying to operate through a calendar. They had a CRM that wasn't connected to anything. They used Excel spreadsheets, and then I talked to their bookkeeper who got paper invoices every morning, entered it into their QuickBooks desktop program, entered their bills manually and expenses manually. And then I came back and sat down with the business owner again. And what I found out through the conversation was that he was thinking of hiring an office manager to basically oversee. Now, office manager would be, their job is to oversee, manage people. There should be some KPIs that you have for your staff. Like, for example, I asked him, when you spend your money on a radio ad, how many leads do you get? They weren't tracking this kind of thing, but he would give his girl at the front counter a hard time about, making sure she'd track that, but there was nothing to measure against if she was doing a good job or not. So it's things like this, which is important to get to the point where you have an office manager. So I asked him, I said, well, doing all these things and implementing these, how much would you think that a person like that would cost? And he agreed upon a price of about $80,000 per year to pay a person. Now, he didn't want to hire somebody for $80,000 a year to come into his office and work there full time, because really a lot of the processes could have probably been fixed over a few months by a person there. So this is where my friend comes in. So she can come in, and instead of being paid $80,000, maybe paid a job like this, probably $10,000 to $15,000, spend a month or two with them, implementing some technology, working on some workflow processes, and basically cleaning it all up. And so when you offer up a solution like that, when you get to a person that's getting, hey, I was going to pay 80,000, or even if it was part-time, $40,000 per year to do this. Now you can do this with technology. So I kind of look at it as technology oftentimes replaces people, and he could have spent $10,000 to $15,000 with this individual, which they're actually going to go ahead with, and she's going to do the work. Now, if she was just a regular bookkeeper doing desktop things, she would never been able to help them in the first place automate, because desktop doesn't automate that way. And then she just, offered up, hey, I'll do your bookkeeping services for $250 a month. It would have took her many years to make $10,000 to $15,000. So she can go around and she can do this, maybe do a 1 month, 2 month contract, help somebody get set up, go land another one. And, now she's making $90,000, $100,000, where previously she would have maybe making maybe $30,000 to $40,000. So that's another power of the cloud that opens up, is these opportunities to do implementation, be experts at workflow and technologies, and implement them, making huge differences in a business, more so than just saying, hey, I'll do some data entry for you for $250 a month.
Wow. Now, Jeremy, if someone wants to find out more about apps, where would you suggest that they'd go?
So that's a good question there. So we have a website called apps.com. So apps.com. That's an Intuit website. There's thousands upon thousands of apps. We flick it over to the Canadian flag on the site there. There's over 350 apps that work with our QuickBooks program that we've tested, vetted, make sure the security protocols are in place. That's a good place to start. Also, probably just connecting with a business development manager and helping you get on the path of education. There's apps out there, but you also want to know which apps are the best ones to learn about first. So I recommend a handful of 5 that you probably want to learn about first, that 90% of businesses will use, and then you can get more customized into specific areas. So if you're working in restaurants, for example, there's a POS system that works for restaurants better than, say, a spa. And so that knowledge takes some time, but the business development managers that are into it there can help you on that path.
Well, Jeremy, thanks a lot for that information. Very valuable. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.